Good morning. This is Jennifer Fisher with Almo. I'm an LG Business Development Manager here. And today we are going to be talking about something very exciting to us, which is our new DVLED stocking program here at Almo. It's brand new, not necessarily for Almo. We have a couple other brands that are stocking, but for LG specifically, we're going to discuss a little bit about what products we're bringing in, the advantages of that, and how we do that very, very well here. I want to introduce my partner and cohort here, Tom Keefe, who is our category manager for DVLED. So Tom, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thank you, Jen. My name is Tom Keefe. I'm the category manager at Almo Pro AV for the DVLED category. So what does that mean? It means that I work with all of our DVLED partners, all of our salespeople, is sort of a sales engineer, if you will. I help out with opportunities. I work with customers when they have direct view LED opportunities that come up. And just kind of guide them on the way as they're deciding what the right solution for them is. So really excited to talk about this new program that we have with LG. We are stocking LG custom product, right? So when you look at direct view LED, you kind of have they have the all-in-ones, which is almost just like buying a large format display. Everything comes together. It's in one box or case, as it were, one SKU, controllers built in, and it's kind of plug and play. Whereas custom, which is kind of the traditional LED display, is shipped in multiple panels, right? And there's a bunch of different parts and separate controllers and just kind of more to consider with that. And there's different pixel pitches, in sizes that people need to consider depending on the application. So typically, because of all of that, it's been something that's custom ordered from overseas, right? And the lead times will typically take around 16 weeks, maybe a little shorter, maybe a little longer. And it's not something that can be turned around quickly. And oftentimes we will have dealers call us and they have a project that needs to close before that. So we are going to be the only distributor for LG in the country that is stocking their custom product in multiple different pixel pitches and sizes. So we're going to be able to deliver on the fly and immediately pretty much direct view LED walls of any different size, shape, resolution, pixel pitch, you name it, because we have stock in the US, and we'll be the only ones who can do that. And we are partnering with LG because it's something that we're highly experienced in. We do it with some other partners, but one of the unique skills of Almo as the leading Pro AV distributor in the United States is that we have experience and ability to handle these products and configure them on the fly, on the floor, and get them shipped out.
Excellent. We're really excited about it. And Tom hit that nail right on the head. You should be able to call us and say, hey, I've got a wall that's this size. I need to fit something into that. And we should be able to configure it for you, plus all the pieces and parts that go with it, and hopefully have them available to ship out pretty quickly. So with that said, what we're going to be stocking to start off with, if you're not aware, LG has probably got the most extensive lineup of DVLED of any manufacturer with over 100 model numbers. So it's hard to keep up with all of the different ones that they carry. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to start with their LSCB and LSCC series, which is a 27-inch cabinet. It has been their mainstay product for about the last 8 years. So it's the primary product that they recommend and install into indoor solutions, mostly conference rooms, that kind of thing, but they're configurable. The non-stocking products in that model include, mitered edges, curved edges, concave, convex. The line goes on and on and on. They will be migrating to the LSCC model coming out here shortly, which will also be stocking. And this model is specifically important to LG because it's their ultra slim model. So it's definitely about 1.2 inches in depth. And the new models will be about, the LSCC will be about 25% less power consumption, HDR, and they'll also have built-in Novastar receivers into those products. So the LSCC will come in a 1.2, a 1.5, a 1.8, and a 2.5 millimeter. So you can configure that any way that you would like. And Tom's going to go into a little bit here what we're pairing with these models to make a complete solution. Tom?
Yeah, so if you're looking at a custom or configured DVLED solution like I touched on before. If you look at it like a pie, right, the wall itself is only a piece of that pie to make the solution work. The other key components are going to be the mounting solution. So with direct VLED, it's a little different than mounting a LCD flat panel. There's no VESA standard, right? You need a special type of mount. And the reason the mounts become important is because when you're dealing with direct VLED, it has to be completely flat from a Z-axis standpoint. So depth, right? Because there's modules that are lined up, and if the depth is off for any of the modules, you're going to see lines, right? So we've partnered with Peerless on a great new product line they have, which is their DVLED Universal line, their 610 line. We stock that as well. It is very competitively priced, and it is very easy to configure. Basically, however many cabinets or LED panels there are, that's how many Peerless mounts, universal mounts you'll need. And then we also ship that with a jig, a spacing tool that is used that is calibrated for all different lines of LEDs, and certainly LG for their LSCB and LSCC line. We work with them directly to make sure that universal product will fit with this line that we're going to be stocking. So the mounting is one thing. The other component would be the image processor. So when you buy a video wall, you're going to need a controller. Typically Novastar, maybe the vendor, will have their own proprietary controller that they offer with it. That kind of comes with the wall, so you don't have to really go out of your way to try to spec that and seek it out. The LED vendor will tell you which product you need. But the image processor is different. The image processor is for multiple sources coming in. It's for if you have any kind of wacky resolutions, because oftentimes, LED walls are not going to be standard 16:9 aspect ratio. Sometimes they're going to be high vertical. If there's multiple displays that are going to be combined and used in unison, an image processor is going to take all that into account and do all the mapping and scaling to make sure that the image shows up the way you want. Certainly for digital signage, in terms of making sure there's multiple pieces of content that can come together on the screen in a visually pleasing way, TV One has software built in that's going to allow for that. Kind of like you'd see with most specialty digital signage software services. They are a direct partner of ours. They are certified to work with LG, and it is also something that we have direct access to. So when you come to Almo Pro AV for a direct VLED wall, we'll ask you a series of questions, and if it's deemed that an image processor is needed, then we will go ahead and spec out that image processor for you. Finally, there's Almo Services called Link Lab. That is the name of Almo Pro AV's professional services. And we offer both supervised as well as full installation services. So what that means is we can send someone on site to assist the integrator's team with the installation, either guiding them. So what does guiding mean? Guiding can mean that the person gets on a ladder and wears a tool belt and helps out, or it can mean that they just simply will guide you step by step through the installation process, your team, as they go. What it almost always means is that they will configure the wall and the controller and set it up and make sure it's commissioned properly, and that your team is trained, the reseller's team and the end user's team is trained. And then, of course, full installation services are going to be white glove. So we can have a team come in and perform the entire installation and commissioning of the wall. If you happen to be an integrator that does not offer that level of installation support, we can provide it. Or if you have resources that are commissioned elsewhere and a customer has a deadline for a project, for a very competitive rate, we can come in and offer a professional installation experience for the customer.
We're pretty excited about that because we feel like we're offering a complete solution versus just here's your wall and figure the rest out. So we're pretty excited about being able to offer a complete solution for whatever you might need or whatever fits in your environment there. But the whole point is to make sure that when we're done, this thing is up and working optimally, and everybody is pleased with what's gone on. Just as a follow-up really quick on the LG DVLED lineup, just so you're aware, in the non-stocking at this point, LG has an extensive lineup that includes their value series, especially that we use in the stadium market. They have transparent products. They have outdoor solutions. They have stadium solutions, very heavy into the stadium market these days. Broadcast DVLEDs, flexible and curved options. We do a lot of circular columns in casinos, things like that. They have marine grade. And then, of course, we have been running a lot of LG Magnet, which is one of the best in the business as far as 4K, 8K solutions go, especially when lined up with competitors at an Infocom, really stands out. But we have been selling a ton of 4K solutions into the financial markets, into the medical markets, where people need high resolution imagery, especially like in the medical industry. So definitely come to us if you have one of those opportunities, and we would be happy to pull in collaboratively an engineer with LG to get you the solution that you need spec'd out. The other thing that we're really excited about to talk about is the new all-in-ones from LG. LG knocked it out of the park a couple of years ago when they first introduced their all-in-one solution. They have it in a 136 and a 163-inch diagonal, 1920 by 1080. Most popular all-in-one across the board here at Almo, and it's been selling through the roof. And the reason for that is that, as Tom mentioned earlier, when you've got individual cabinets that you're trying to line up, it takes a lot of adjustment. So with the all-in-one, it comes in one case. If you buy a 136, it comes in a single ATA case. It's in stock. You don't have to wait for it. There's a mount in there, a low-profile mount. Put the mount up. There's two cabinets. So you just put two cabinets on the mount. There's a tool that allows you to lock them at the top and the bottom. It's rigid. It's flat. You start adding modules, plug it in, and you're up and running. Typical install takes less than 2 hours on a 136. And the 163 is a 3-cabinet design, so still very rigid, very flat, and it comes in 2 cases that are strapped together. So very, very simple to get and install. The other thing that is happening that's been great with these is that you can connect them. Simply because of the way that they're designed, you can buy a connector kit and you can connect 2 136s and get a 245 right out the gate. So what some of our customers are figuring out is that they can cover an awful lot of wall space by connecting all-in-ones at a pretty low cost. I've got a customer right now that we're working with that's doing a 1x3 in a multi-purpose space. And what they're doing with it is they're using a TV1 processor to connect the 3 panels together because each one has an HDMI input. So we create a single canvas across the board. And what I see is kind of the conference room in the future is you're going to have multiple sources of inputs on a layout that you can switch between layouts with your control system. So one of the most common is, hey, I've got 4 DirecTV feeds. So let's create a canvas that's got one big DirecTV feed and then maybe 3 more on the side. Well, that is a single layout. Then they could switch to another layout that may pull 21 by 9 information with a custom EDID by TV1, or you could put in, various sources of information. This works great for command and control as well. So hoping that makes sense, but if you want to economically cover some wall space, we call it selling some real estate around here. You can connect multiple all-in-ones to create a great space, a collaboration space and an environment. And again, we'll help you with the TV1, bring that in so you can create multiple layouts, hook it up to your control system, and just have a knockout solution. So we're excited about that. The 136s are starting to move right now. We'll have them in stock this month, and the 163 replacements will be coming in August. So we're pretty excited about that. Tom, any trends and insights you might want to share briefly? Just it's going on in the DVLED market and what you're seeing out there since you've got your finger on the pulse.
Sure. Yeah. One of the things I'm just thinking about as we're talking is the prevalence of LED today versus even 2 years ago, certainly 5 years ago, and definitely 10 years ago. When I think back to, so I came into the industry in 2003, and that is just when we started seeing plasmas, right, come into the market, and they were expensive, right, relatively. Right. I mean, I remember like a 42-inch plasma was like $7,000 or something like that, and we were selling them, but they were really considered kind of a non-necessity luxury item, right? And then LCDs came and they were expensive and the pricing came down. Pricing has come down on digital projection. We've seen all these prices of technology come down over the years, and now they're just everywhere. Everyone sees flat panel displays everywhere. I mean, I remember when I first came in, I was selling those shelves that would sit up in the corner where you'd put the cathode ray TVs on them, in an office. So we don't sell those anymore. But the reason we see so much more of it is because the demand increased, the supply increased, and the price came down, right? So it's more accessible. And that's exactly what we're seeing for direct VLED, right? Whereas before, we used to see it in outdoor applications in very large pixel pitches because that's what the manufacturing capability would allow you to do. And it was still very expensive. It would all be specialty, but since the technology and the demand for the technology has advanced, there's more people making it, there's more of it. So the pricing has really come down. And now you can get a 1080p 110-inch direct view LED display for, in some cases, the same cost as 100-inch LCD display. Now, does that mean that LCD displays are no longer relevant? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means if you desire to have a performance of a direct VLED, meaning you want to have the bright, vibrant colors, you want to have the 24/7 operation capability, the relatively low heat, getting rid of the need to consider lighting for the most part and ambient light because LEDs cut through that. Now you can do it without having to, quote unquote, break the bank, right? So we have seen tremendous growth in the industry. I know at the time of this recording, we're about a little less than a week away from InfoComm 2025. And if anyone watching this is going to be attending InfoComm or has for the last couple of years, it's like an LED bonanza when you go there. It's all that anybody is showing. It's all that really anyone is talking about in a big way. That is the driving thrust of the display technology that we're seeing in the market. And it's exciting because it's so accessible now. I'm seeing them go into, K-12 schools that are typically going to be types of markets that don't have a lot of budget that can now afford to put these walls in and, make a better experience for their students and their staff on site. So it's just a very exciting time to be in the market. And in terms of opportunities, there's, as I said, there's a lot of vendors out there, and LG is certainly right at the top of that list. They are on the cutting edge. They have been doing it since the beginning, and they are reaping the rewards of that. And we are happy to partner with them on this new initiative. And we're really looking forward to seeing the benefits of having product in stock for our resellers so that they can turn around their projects more quickly.
Thank you, Tom. That was excellent. And as a wrap up, again, I'm Jennifer Fisher I'm a business development manager. I have a counterpart on the East Coast, Tiff Jones, and please feel free to contact your sales rep at Exertis Almo, and they can get in touch with us or call us directly. I'm happy to talk about your next project, and what we'd be happy to do is give you some options for what you're looking to do. I know it can be a little confusing out there sometimes for exactly what you need, especially in your budget. We get a lot of people that come in and they're like, I want a 4K and I want this, but we'd be happy to give you some different types of options that kind of work through that with you to figure out what might be the best fit. The one thing I did forget is LG does have a full line of TAA compliant solutions in DVLED. So clear across the board on that one. We've been flipping a lot of projects to TAA DVLED. So wanted to mention that. But anyway, give us a call. We have a wonderful team here. Tom, myself, Tiff, our sales staff. So we're really excited to talk to you about DVLED and what we can do to partner with you and or LG if needed to get you the best solution out there. And again, it's LG, so you're supported by one of the best companies in the world in DVLED. So thank you very much for your time and have a great day, everybody.